All right, all right, all right. Okay, so we are still on the Sweaty remix for Avery Grace, and we're on the Sennheiser HD 480 Pros doing this song. I just wanted to do one final video. I messed around a little bit with, I don't know, just the mix of sidechain and like certain levels on certain things, kind of minuscule stuff to be honest, and I keep coming back to the idea that it doesn't need as much sidechain. There was something cool about it before I did all the sidechain. So I'm gonna back off pretty heavily. Let's see. I think it's like I was sidechaining the vocals this a couple days ago now, so I gotta kind of figure this out. All right, so there we go. It'll probably be this. Let's just listen. Let's just see what's up. Oh, no, there's more than that. Okay. Yeah, but I still got to do these like stop and goes, right? So. And then the question is does that actually turn on? Hold on, there's one more stop and go in the intro. I think it's right here. There we go. I don't know, man. Let me see. Shenanigans, bro.
Someone like
All right, so we're gonna sidechain everything, obviously, on the drops, and then throughout the rest of the song. But I don't need that pumping, I don't think, for this part.
Like me, one in a million, not worry about the bills. Little recluse, come and get loose. So what are you gonna do? Give my life, give my heart and trust. Can't keep up, I leave him in the dust. Show me what you got, I like your rough. Show up with the cuffs. Sweaty in here, it's a crowded room. Scheming up. Show up with the cuffs. Sweaty in here, it's a crowded room. Scheming up plans, this ain't nothing
All right, that's gonna be the answer. That's the end of this series. I have bad allergies, excuse me. I just wanted to actually close it out, you know. Was going back and forth with some sidechain stuff. I think whatever is doing sidechain on the vocals is fine at this point. It was really just the big instrument group. In the beginning, it was sounding too just like Morgan Page or whatever, maybe even Calvin Harrisy, and I want this to be a little bit more like pop, like disco, not even funk disco, just I don't know, just my own, honestly, just my own thing, and I didn't want it to pump there. That said, I might even just drop two versions of it. Screw it, dude. I might do two versions in an instrumental. I guess we could just chat about the song a little bit for a second. Let's go ahead and just save it though. I want to make sure that I save it in the right place too. We'll go ahead and bounce it. It'll be number 7. All right, so what we're gonna talk about is coming up. Just put it in the right spots. I'm thinking I want to do, for the next few releases, kind of like an EP structure for each single, and I want to release the instrumental and then the songs. And I want the songs to have 2 different mix versions. One of them being like, so for this one, obviously, one of them will have sidechain throughout the whole entire thing, and then one of them will have the no sidechain until the first drop. Because I sometimes find that when I release the song, I regret it a year later. I go back, I'm like, oh, I do want to hear that one version that did the other thing. Not that I hate the version that I released. It's just like they're 2 different animals. And I might be in 2 different moods, just like I was when I was making it. So I want to just like stay true to that, to be honest. And there's this new song also called Never Mind that I'm going to put out as well, and it's going to have 2 mixes. One of them is going to be this more aggressive, like kind of clipping, future bass, future melodic dubstep drop, and it's going to be clipping. It's going to be pretty harsh and heavy. And then I want to also release the version that doesn't have that has more of the kind of like flow intact. It's quieter. It, in my opinion, is a little bit more dense in the mids, and you can kind of like hear the chords a little bit better in the drop rather than the sub bass and the basses. But I want both versions because, again, I'm going to be in 2 different moods when I want to hear that song, I think. And there's going to be different reasons to send it to different people. For the sync version, I'm going to send the quieter version that I know works a little bit better on every single speaker system. But if I'm going to go play it out in DJ or something, or send it to DJs, like I want to send the banging version because those speakers can handle clipping. you know, if these can handle the clipping, the stage speakers can handle the clipping, and they would actually probably drive into the amps and the clippers and limiters, whatever they're using, in a cool way. So all that said, yes, that's the goal. So right now, let's just round this out by also doing the version that has no vocals, which will be. See if I'm missing anything. Yeah, where is that coming from? Then what's all this? Oh, that's guitars. Is it this? So we'll grab that acapella and we'll put it where it needs to go, which is actually down here. There's nothing on this group. Oh, there is a lot on this group. Well, ain't that cute? We'll just bring it down here. Screw it. And I'll just remember that that goes with. I'm fine with the little squeaks. Oh, I don't know if I want that. I stay wet. So we'll duplicate this, and then we will extract the vocal one. So this is, again, Vokes More. We'll turn that off. Cool. Now we have the instrumental version as well, because like I said, that's important to me. Instrumental, and then it's at what, 136 BPM? It's like super fast. 137. All right. Then there's the instrumental. Cool. Yeah. And the reason also why is because I want other people to have a chance to write something new over this, maybe. And you know, maybe there's another cool song that flourishes, or I'm in a session and I'm lazy one day and I'm just like, oh man, I really need to pull something. I don't have my hard drive, but I have beats literally that I could download off of Apple Music right now, and we could use for writing session. I don't know, just like all sorts of reasons. And what, like I'm gonna flood the market by releasing a couple different versions of the songs? I don't really care. Anyways. Hey. So we're waiting for this to download, or to render, I should say. Then my biggest core problem right now is more so about figuring out the artwork. I keep trying to use canva.com, and I just don't want to pay for another subscription, which, to be fair, I pay for so many subscriptions in music, and it's like, just the thought of like doing that with art and video and stuff is just like, oh my god, like it'll never end, right? But that said, so I'm trying to use the free version stuff, and the assets just aren't as good as the paid version. And but then you go into the paid version, and like I see these really cool like templates to use for album art, but it's like impossible to change some of the font. Like, let's see, like I can't. If somebody could help me with this, that would be great. I guess that's another thing that I want to do while I'm online, I guess. It's like find friends that can help and help people too, vice versa. But like look, say I want to use this. I don't right now, but like say I did. It says what? ESPE spectro whatever. But either way, I don't want those words. I want this to be something different. And like how do I change the letter? Like if I want that to be F, like okay, I just hit F and like it didn't change to F. That didn't do nothing. So it's over here. Crop, like bro, I'm not trying to crop this at all. I'm just trying to change a letter. Like Canva, you know what we're trying to do. Why not make it a little bit easier? Like what is it, a note section? Nah, it ain't there. I'm like, it's so annoying. Like, how do you change that stupid letter? Ungroup, and then I can change it? No. Alternative text? Let's turn that to a K. Save. It did nothing. It did nothing. So yeah, so why am I going to pay for this and use these templates, you know? I don't know. I don't know what to say. Say I want and that one makes, I feel like some of these I know I could tweak the font, but then other ones I can't. But there's always like one really cool one that I want to use, like this side one. Watch, if I want to use that, well, first off, it won't even let me. All right, let me find something I could use. I don't know. That just, it's like, why am I going to pay for it if I can't even change certain things about it? Maybe we get back to the actual point of the video. I used this one for Lavender Lemonade. This one for Still Flexin' or something. I think I changed that into a baseball because it was for like a base, like this disco one. Can we change the words? Okay, so that one changes. That one's cool. I don't know, but I like the grains out here. I just want this to be different and change, and I might even want to keep that liquid, you know, new metal kind of thing or whatever you want to call it. Just really wish I could change whatever. And then it just like kind of goes into this world of like, why don't I just pay somebody to do the artwork the way that I actually want it done? So anyways, then what happened here? Okay, so that's that. That's fine. Weird. All right, so we finished this song Sweaty. Let's bring it back down here real quick. And I think the last thing, just let's go over the master chain and then let's turn back on whatever we turned off. So like the vocals and vocals. Okay, so. So we have, this is just a metering plugin. Does nothing sound-wise. I think what I did was I put on the God particle at a certain point when I felt that the mix was doing its thing. And then after that, for EDM, I usually need to throw a little OTT on. Maybe not throughout the whole thing, but at least through like a drop or a certain section or something. So I think what I did here is or at the very end, I got to turn it off basically for a quiet outro. But anyways, this is what it sounds like. Without anything. With the God particle. with the OTT smash to hell. I don't know. I like how it just pops out of the speakers with the OTT on. I could see the argument for this. And you know, while we're at it, just because we're rounding out the finish line of this, why don't I just do also another version of it that I might release as well called, well, we're going to call it VA8 at the moment, but I'm going to turn off just the OTT, smash to hell, and render a version with just the thick boy. Because it sounds thicker and like, I don't know, might be cool to have that version available too. A little more molded to what I think is on the Spotify. I'm not even call it Spotify. It's too general or too niche. I have a problem with how everything is mixed, personally. I think that we've hit a stage ever since like 2015, 16, something around there, and where everything started sounding like it was trying to get mixed to this certain level of loudness or crispness or brightness or whatever. And then it just kind of stayed there. And all the mixers, I'm talking to the top guys and stuff, and the mastering engineers that get all the big label records, it started kind of like just making sure everything fits. Even the producers were making sure everything fits into this like area that everyone else is. And it wasn't until like around 2020 or something where like Billie Eilish and Phineas, and then a little bit later Dan Nigro and stuff, they started coming in with a little bit like the backwards energy, not even throwing energy into the mix, but like more so just letting it be natural the way it is, which is quieter and more dynamic, more like that 60s 70s mix style, which I appreciate for what it is time to time, but obviously for dance music and stuff you want it a little bit more like kind of, I think, aggressive. Anyways, but like the dance music and the pop music kind of went into this box, and I'm trying to like get it out of that box. Like I hear more energy able to come out of all these different headphones and speakers and cars and festival systems. I know it's there. And what I'm trying to say is, look, in the 30s and 40s, recordings were a certain quality, and they were like, that's, you need to leave a lot of headroom because blah blah, and like it was recorded on tape, and problems with vinyl and all this stuff, needles jumping. Okay, and then tape, cassettes and CDs came in, and then like listen to some of like the heaviest music ever made. I'm talking death metal to like new metal to like Limp Bizkit and all this stuff with high energy, not very very loud, and aggressively popping out of the speakers, but like in its own little world that they like mixed it to a certain cap, it had all the depth and dynamics it needed. But then, you know, dubstep started coming along, and in the 2000s and whatnot, like the heavier Skrillex side of it, I would say, like late 2000s, where all of a sudden stuff was really poking out of the speakers and subs were coming out. I mean, this all happened in the evolution of hip hop too. But what I'm trying to say is I think that there's a new evolution. Like speakers are getting so much better. Even your average iPhone speaker, I mean, this thing is stereo, first off. I don't know when they switched it to stereo. It used to just be like mono, but now it's stereo. And it has bass in it. And like you can actually hear certain frequencies. And like I think that everyone's still trying to mix to the old iPhone, like iPhone 7 and stuff. And everyone somehow let go of the whole mono compatibility that was happening in the 2010s, which I get because clubs were popping back then and now they're not necessarily popping like they used to be. Anyways, I'm sick of hearing everyone go after this same world inside of a mix, and I think we could push things. That said, I probably should play the game a little bit, and do a version that is more warm and fits inside this little box, which will be this version, right? But then you'll have my kick-ass, like super slammed in your face OTT smash to hell version as well. So I think that's it. This is long-winded. Maybe we just do one full playthrough, and I'm gonna leave the OTT Smash to Hell on for this, just so I can scrape it and put it in the beginning. So this is the final result of the sweaty remix for Avery Grace. There we go. I think I accidentally cut it a little short. I want to take a picture of that. That should be the album art. Cool. So again, we'll save that. And we're out. That's the end of the series. I'm going to release all the versions. I'm going to release the instrumental with the Smash to Hell with no side chain in the beginning. I'm going to release the full side chain with the OTT Smash to Hell. I'm going to release the more like kind of thick, warm version. Basically, there's going to be a bunch of versions. You guys can go check it out if you actually care. Bye. Bye. Goodbye.